My mother-in-law insisted on wearing a white gown to my wedding. My revenge? I switched the ceremony theme last minute to black formal and everyone thought she was the one getting married to her own son. I ruined my mother-in-law's reputation so badly that she's now known in our entire town as the woman who tried to marry her own son. So here's what happened. My husband and I got engaged last year and immediately his mother started making everything about herself. She wanted to plan the venue, pick my dress, choose the flowers. I said no to all of it, but she kept pushing. Then 3 months before the wedding she showed me a photo. It was a white ball gown. Full-on bridal white. Lace. Train. The works. I said absolutely not. She laughed and said it was her special day too and she'd wear whatever she wanted. My husband said to just let it go. That it wasn't worth the fight. I told him his mother was insane and he needed to handle it. He didn't. 2 weeks before the wedding I found out why. I came home early from work and caught him with my maid of honor in our bed. They'd been sleeping together for 6 months. Since right after we got engaged. I didn't scream. I just stood there. My maid of honor started crying and apologizing. My husband said it didn't mean anything. That he loved me. That we could work through it. I walked out. Didn't say a word. Here's where it gets messy. I had already paid for everything. The venue. The catering. The photographer. Everything was non-refundable. Losing that money would destroy me financially. So I made a decision. I called everyone. My bridesmaids. My family. My real friends. I told them what happened and what I was planning. Most of them thought I was crazy, but they agreed to help. Then I called all the vendors. Changed every single detail. The wedding was originally garden-themed. Soft pastels. Romantic. I switched it to black tie formal. Told everyone the new dress code was all black. Sent out an emergency email to every single guest 2 days before the wedding. Well, almost every guest. I specifically didn't tell my mother-in-law. Or my husband. Or his family. The day of the wedding my mother-in-law showed up in that white gown. She walked in beaming. Ready for her moment. And every single person there was wearing black. Head to toe. The bridesmaids. The groomsmen. The guests. Even the venue decorations had been changed to black and silver. She looked like a bride. Standing there alone in white while everyone else looked like they were at a funeral. People started whispering immediately. My aunt loudly asked my uncle if there was a dress code mix-up. Someone else said they thought this was a wedding, not a ceremony for the mother-in-law. One of my cousins took out her phone and started recording. My mother-in-law's face went from confused to horrified. She tried to laugh it off. Said there must have been a mistake with the invitations. But people kept staring. Kept whispering. Then I walked out. Not in a white dress. In a stunning black gown. Sleek. Elegant. Powerful. The officiant started the ceremony like normal. My husband was at the altar looking confused and panicked. He kept glancing at his mother. Then at me. Then back at her. Halfway through the officiant asked if anyone objected. I raised my hand. The room went silent. I said I objected. To all of it. I told everyone exactly what my husband had done. Named my ex-maid of honor. Explained that I caught them together. Said I couldn't marry someone who betrayed me like that. People gasped. My mother-in-law tried to rush toward me but my brothers blocked her. She started screaming that I was lying. That I was trying to ruin her baby boy. That I was jealous and crazy. I pulled out my phone. Showed the photos I'd taken that day. Time stamped. Clear as day. My husband tried to deny it but his face said everything. My ex-maid of honor had already left before the ceremony even started. She knew what was coming. Then I turned to my mother-in-law. I said this was what she wanted, right? To be the center of attention at a wedding? Well, congratulations. Everyone here thinks you showed up in a wedding dress to marry your own son. The whispers got louder. Someone laughed. Then someone else. My mother-in-law was crying and screaming. She tried to explain but no one was listening anymore. I walked out. Told everyone the reception was still happening. Open bar. Food already paid for. Might as well enjoy it. And they did. The whole town showed up. It became this massive party celebrating my escape. People were taking photos of the empty altar. Of my mother-in-law crying in her white dress. Someone made a hashtag. It went viral in our area. Now here's where I might be the problem. My mother-in-law can't show her face anywhere. The grocery store. Church. The gym. People recognize her as the woman from the wedding. They whisper. They point. Someone apparently asked her at the bank when the wedding with her son was. She's had a breakdown. She's on medication now. Doesn't leave her house. My ex-husband moved to another state. He can't find work here because everyone knows what he did. My ex-maid of honor lost all her friends. Her own family won't talk to her. My family thinks I went too far. That humiliating them publicly was cruel. That I should have just called off the wedding quietly. Taken a financial loss. Moved on. But they didn't betray me. They didn't cheat. They didn't try to steal my wedding day. Some of my friends say I'm a legend. Others say I'm vindictive and destroyed lives over a wedding. That people make mistakes. That I should have been the bigger person. The thing is, I don't feel bad. I feel satisfied. They hurt me and I hurt them back. Worse. So did I take it too far, or did they get exactly what they deserved? My ex-husband showed up at my apartment 3 days after the wedding. I didn't let him in. He stood in the hallway banging on the door for 20 minutes screaming that I destroyed his life. That I'm a psycho. That he could sue me for emotional distress. I called the cops. They made him leave but said unless he threatened me directly there wasn't much they could do. He hasn't come back since, but he keeps texting. Long rambling messages about how I went too far. How what he did was a mistake but what I did was calculated and cruel. How his mother is on antidepressants now and it's my fault. I blocked him. Then he started emailing. I blocked that too. My lawyer says the divorce should be straightforward since we weren't actually married. The wedding never happened legally. But he's trying to claim he's entitled to money back for his half of the wedding costs. The costs I paid for. With my money. From my savings. His argument is that I used the wedding as a trap to humiliate him, so he deserves compensation. My lawyer laughed when she read his filing. Said no judge would take that seriously, but it's going to drag things out. The ex-maid of honor tried to contact me once. She sent a letter to my parents' house. 5 pages of her explaining that she never meant to hurt me. That she and my ex just had this connection. That it started innocently. That she thought she was in love. She said I ruined her life over a man who wasn't even worth it. That we could have talked about it like adults. That public humiliation wasn't necessary. I burned the letter. Sent her a photo of the ashes. Probably petty, but I don't care. My mother-in-law is apparently telling people I manipulated her son. That I planned the whole thing to make her look bad because I never liked her. She's saying she's the real victim. That I'm unstable and dangerous. Some people believe her. Mostly her church friends who weren't at the wedding. But most people saw the photos. Saw the videos. They know what really happened. My family is still divided. My mom keeps saying I should have handled it privately. That destroying people publicly isn't who I am. My dad said they got what they deserved, but maybe I should move on now. Stop talking about it. Let it fade. But I can't. Because it's not fading. Someone made a TikTok about it. Use the photos from the wedding. It got millions of views. Now people from other states are messaging me asking if it's real. If I'm really the bride who exposed her cheating husband at her own wedding. My ex is furious about that. He's claiming I'm defaming him. That I'm spreading lies. He actually posted his own version on social media saying I'm a liar who faked evidence because I was jealous of his relationship with the maid of honor. Except he forgot that multiple people saw them together. My neighbor. My brother. They commented on his post with timestamps and details. He deleted everything within an hour, but people had already screenshot it. The worst part is my ex-maid of honor's family reached out. Her mother called me crying. Begging me to make it stop. Saying her daughter made a mistake but doesn't deserve to lose everything. That she can't find work now because employers Google her name and find the whole story. I told her I didn't do this. Her daughter did. She chose to sleep with someone else's fiancé. Actions have consequences. Her mother called me evil. Said I'm destroying a young woman's future over one mistake. That forgiveness is supposed to be part of being a good person. I hung up on her. My coworkers keep asking about it. Someone brought printouts of the TikTok to work and passed them around. My boss called me into her office and asked if I needed time off to deal with personal issues. I said no. I'm fine. She looked concerned but let it go. The thing is, I really am fine. Better than fine, actually. I wake up every day knowing I'm not married to a cheater. Knowing I didn't waste years on someone who didn't respect me. Knowing his mother can't control my life anymore. But people keep acting like I should feel guilty. Like I'm the problem. My aunt sent me an article about forgiveness and healing. My cousin posted something on social media about how revenge never fixes anything. They weren't the ones who got cheated on, though. They weren't the ones who caught their partner in bed with someone they trusted. They don't get to tell me how to react. My ex's best friend contacted me yesterday. Said my ex is talking about moving out of state permanently. Starting over somewhere nobody knows him. He wanted me to know that I won. But here's the thing. I don't feel like I won. I feel like I survived. There's a difference. My ex-mother-in-law sent my parents a letter threatening legal action for intentional infliction of emotional distress. My dad's lawyer friend read it and said it's nonsense. That she has no case. That showing up to a wedding in white isn't illegal and neither is changing a dress code. But she's trying anyway. Spending money on lawyers to come after me. My lawyer says let her. That it'll get thrown out and she'll have wasted thousands. That sometimes people need to learn the hard way. I ran into someone from my ex's family at the store last week. His cousin. She looked at me like I was a murderer. Didn't say anything. Just stared. Then she pulled out her phone and I heard her calling someone saying she just saw me. That I looked happy. That I was smiling like nothing happened. Of course I was smiling. I was buying groceries. Living my life. What did she expect? That I'd walk around crying forever? The gossip in town hasn't died down. If anything, it's gotten worse. People recognize me now. They point and whisper. Some people come up and say I'm brave. Others give me dirty looks like I'm the villain. Someone left a note on my car last week. It said women like me give all women a bad name. That I should be ashamed. That destroying families isn't empowerment. I threw it away, but it bothered me more than I want to admit. My therapist says I need to process this in healthier ways. That holding on to anger isn't good for me long term. That eventually I need to let go and move forward. But I'm not angry anymore. I'm just done. Done with people telling me I overreacted. Done with being painted as the bad guy. Done with everyone acting like I should have quietly walked away and let them get away with it. My ex texted me from a new number yesterday. Got around the block somehow. He said he hopes I'm happy now. That I got my revenge and destroyed everyone. That karma will catch up with me eventually. I didn't respond. But I thought about it. About how he thinks karma applies to me but not to him. How cheating on your fiancé isn't karma worthy but exposing it is. The mental gymnastics are impressive, honestly. Part of me wonders if I really did go too far. If there was a better way to handle it. If I'm going to regret this years from now when the anger fades and I'm left with just the memories of what I did. But then I remember walking in on them. Remember my maid of honor's face. Remember my ex saying it didn't mean anything. Remember his mother in that white dress thinking she'd won. And I don't regret it at all. Am I wrong for that? My ex-mother-in-law showed up at my work yesterday. Security had to escort her out. She was screaming in the lobby that I'm a liar and a manipulator. That I ruined her family. That she's going to make sure everyone knows what kind of person I really am. My boss pulled me aside after and asked what the hell was going on. I explained everything. The cheating. The wedding. The aftermath. She just stared at me for a minute, then said to take the rest of the day off. That she'd handle it. Apparently my ex-mother-in-law tried to come back an hour later. My boss called the police. They gave her a trespassing warning. Said if she comes back she'll be arrested. I thought that would be the end of it. It wasn't. She went to my parents' house. Banged on their door at 9 at night demanding they make me apologize. My dad told her to leave. She refused. Started crying on their front porch about how her son's life is destroyed. How she can't sleep. Can't eat. How she's had to quit her book club and her volunteer work because people won't stop talking about her. My mom actually felt bad for her. Tried to calm her down. My dad had to physically step between them and tell my mom to go inside. He told my ex-mother-in-law that she needs to accept what happened and move on. That her son made his choice and I made mine. She called him a heartless bastard and left. My mom hasn't spoken to me since. She sent me a text saying I need to end this. That it's gone too far. That a woman is having a mental breakdown because of me and I should feel ashamed. I don't though. I feel exhausted. The TikTok situation got worse. Someone found my ex-maid of honor's social media and started flooding her comments. Hundreds of people calling her a homewrecker. Telling her she deserves everything she got. Someone found out where she works and left bad reviews mentioning her by role. Her boss apparently saw it and let her go. She blamed me for that too. Sent me an email saying I orchestrated a harassment campaign against her. That I'm dangerous. That she's filing a police report for cyberbullying. I didn't orchestrate anything. I didn't ask anyone to harass her. But she doesn't believe that. She thinks I'm controlling all of it somehow. My ex called me from yet another new number. This time he was drunk. Slurring his words. Saying he loved me. That he made a mistake. That we can fix this if I just stop destroying his life. I told him he destroyed his own life. He started crying. Actually crying. Saying he lost his job. That he can't afford his apartment. That he's staying with a friend but it's temporary. That he has nothing left. I hung up. He called back 16 times. I didn't answer. Finally he left a voicemail. 7 minutes long. Most of it was incoherent but the parts I understood were him saying this is all my fault. That I'm vindictive. That I planned this from the beginning. That I never loved him. That last part made me laugh. I never loved him. The man I caught in bed with my maid of honor. Sure. My brother came over last night. Said he's worried about me. That I seemed too calm. Too unbothered. That normal people don't handle this kind of drama without falling apart. I told him I already fell apart. The day I caught them. Everything since then has just been me putting the pieces back together. He said I should talk to someone. I reminded him I have a therapist. He said I should talk to someone who isn't paid to listen. We sat in silence for a while. Then he asked if I regret it. Any of it. I said no. He nodded. Said he didn't think I would. That he knows me better than that. But that he's worried about what comes next. That this kind of thing doesn't just blow over. That there will be more consequences down the line. I know he's right. I just don't care. Someone from a local news station reached out. Wanted to interview me about the viral wedding story. I said no. They asked if they could do a story anyway. I said I can't stop them. The story aired 2 days ago. They didn't use my name, but they used enough details that anyone local knows exactly who they're talking about. They interviewed random people on the street. Most said I did the right thing. A few said I was cruel. One woman said she hoped I never find love again because I clearly don't understand what it means. That one stung more than I expected. My ex's family has apparently hired a lawyer. Not for a lawsuit. For a cease and desist. They're demanding I stop talking about what happened publicly. That I remove any posts or comments about the wedding. That I stop responding to media requests. My lawyer said it's toothless. That truth is a defense. That they can't force me to stop telling my own story. But she also said I should probably stop engaging. That the more I feed into it, the worse it gets. She's probably right. But I haven't been engaging. Everyone else has. I just existed and people ran with it. Work has been weird. Some coworkers treat me like I'm fragile. Others avoid me completely. One guy in accounting asked me out. Said he admires women who don't take crap from anyone. I said no. He looked offended. I can't win. If I'm upset, I'm weak. If I'm fine, I'm cold. If I'm angry, I'm crazy. There's no right way to be. My ex showed up at my apartment again last week. Different approach this time. He brought flowers. Stood outside my door and said he wanted to apologize properly. That he handled everything wrong. That he understands why I'm angry. I didn't open the door. Told him through it to leave or I'm calling the cops. He said he just wants closure. Wants to understand why I hate him so much. Why I couldn't just break up with him like a normal person. I said he knows why. He said he really doesn't. That cheating happens. That people work through it. That what I did was psychotic. I opened the door then. Looked him in the eye. Told him that if he ever contacts me again, I'm filing for a restraining order. That I don't owe him closure. That he can spend the rest of his life wondering why I reacted the way I did. He called me a cold bitch. I slammed the door in his face. My therapist says I'm exhibiting signs of hypervigilance. That I'm constantly waiting for the next attack. The next person to show up. The next confrontation. She's not wrong. I check my locks 3 times before bed. I look over my shoulder when I'm out. I don't post anything on social media anymore because I'm worried someone will use it against me. This isn't living. This is surviving. And I'm tired. But every time I think about backing down. About reaching out and trying to smooth things over. About being the bigger person. I remember that bedroom. Remember his face. Remember his mother in that dress. And I know I'd do it all again. My dad called me this morning. Said my ex-mother-in-law is in the hospital. Panic attack apparently. They kept her overnight for observation. She's claiming it's because of stress I caused. My mom wants me to send flowers. To show some compassion. I'm not sending flowers. My dad said he understands. That he's not asking me to. But that he wanted me to know in case she tries to use it somehow. In case she tells people I didn't care that she was hospitalized. I don't care. Does that make me a monster? My friend came over last night with wine. We didn't talk about the wedding. We didn't talk about my ex. We just watched movies and ate takeout and pretended everything was normal. It was the first time in weeks I felt like myself. When she left, she hugged me and said she's proud of me. That she knows everyone is giving me grief, but she thinks I did what needed to be done. I almost cried. Almost. But I didn't. I can't afford to break down right now. Someone left another note on my car yesterday. This one said I should watch my back. That people who destroy families deserve what's coming to them. I reported it to the police. They said there's nothing they can do unless it's a direct threat. That watch your back is too vague. So I guess I just wait. Wait for whoever left that note to decide what comes next. My lawyer says I should document everything. Every interaction. Every threat. Every time someone shows up or calls or sends a message. She says if this escalates, we'll need evidence. I have a folder now. Screenshots. Photos. Voicemails. It's growing every day. Part of me knew this wouldn't just end. That exposing them would have consequences beyond the wedding. But I didn't expect it to feel like this. Like I'm constantly under siege. My ex sent one more message yesterday. From an email I didn't have blocked. It just said I hope it was worth it. I don't know if it was. I don't know if any of this is worth it. All I know is I couldn't let them get away with it. I couldn't be the person who just disappeared quietly and let them move on like nothing happened. So now we're here. In this mess. And I don't know how it ends. I don't know if it ever ends. But I'm still standing. And they're not. Does that count for something?